Good afternoon, Reds. Welcome to the pre-match build-up. A sunny day at Old Trafford, a sunny day in Manchester. Just been around the keys myself. It's absolutely a perfect day for football. So hopefully the football matches the weather, and that'll be, a great game to watch. Unfortunately, usually when these two teams play, it is a bag of sand, mate. It's a 0-0, it's a 1-1. It's not a fantastic game to watch. Usually, that's historically in head-to-head. Just throwing that out there off the bat. But, however, I was expecting heavy rotation again. And I thought maybe, some more youngsters. Maybe Fredrickson will get a run out again. Maybe even a Cheeto, potentially. Not as weak as maybe some thought when we was doing the preview and stuff, but it's quite a strong team, to be fair. Where people are going to be, we'll kind of decipher that as we go through the team. I like to, as you know, individually go through each one and talk about what they can bring to the game. So, I suppose, as always, you've got to start off with the goalkeeper. Bayern Day coming back in there. Onana's been rested again, which I just didn't see coming either. I thought Onana would just continue with, the Europa League final is still, 13 days away, something like that? So, 10 days, actually, isn't it? So, a bit of a peculiar one for me. Not entirely sure why he's starting. I didn't think he was great against Brentford. Slipping everywhere, distribution questionable, panics at times as well when he's on the ball, when he gets pressed slightly. Made a few good saves against Brentford, but apart from that, it was pretty gash, wasn't it, his performance. So, it doesn't fill me with confidence. It's not like I'm screaming from the hills, thank God Bayern Day is starting, but he's in net, so we'll have to deal with it. Mazraoui, Yoro, and Shaw is very interesting in the back line because Yoro, I don't think we've seen a lot of him in that central centre-back role. Not like he can't do it, because let's face it, he is a solid centre-back and he's a young gem. But we haven't seen him there much. I don't know if he's actually played there at all. But he's got experienced players alongside him. He's got Luke Shaw, Mazraoui either side, which I think is going to be interesting. Mazraoui, I think, will probably be subbed off at some point. I think he'll probably be rested. But I think Luke Shaw, likewise as well, starting to get some minutes under his belt. He was another one, actually. If you look at the Brentford game and you look at the Bournemouth game, I think it was, he weren't great. He didn't cover himself in glory at all. Actually, in a weird way, I thought with Luke Shaw, initially, with Lissandro going out and him coming back, I thought, I think that left-sided centre-half role is perfect for him. He's strong, he's pretty quick, he's good on the ball, he'll put his foot on it and he'll start to dictate a little bit, which is really important for the outside centre-backs to have that kind of progression. But since he's come back, I don't know if it is the injuries that's taking its toll on him, that's taking that little percentage off him, that sharpness. And maybe it'll take a little while to get back, but not really been impressed with Luke Shaw since he's come back. I think his best moments have come when he's been a wing-back. So, for example, against Bournemouth, didn't have an amazing first half. Was kind of culpable for the first goal, him, Onana, and AMAD, I think it was. But then when he pushed up into wing-back, when he went down to 10 men, which is always easy to say because, they've only got 10, he looked better. And he's got that kind of cross into the box, which he delivers really, really well. And he's a natural left-back anyway. So, I don't know about that situation. I kind of have to monitor that. But he, again, has got Harry Amas ahead of him. I've got the driest throat ever. My throat is killing. I really, really need a drink. Just 2 seconds. When your throat's that sore, it starts getting all clammy there, struggling. I really need a drink. Amas, just ahead of him, was, again, another one who is and young players will do this, right? I appreciate that, and you understand it. They will have dips, and they'll be good sometimes, and they'll be bad sometimes. Amas, in the last game, wasn't great. Looked good. Well, looks pretty good when he came on against Athletic Club. Did his part, but the game before that, he just, looked a little bit weak. And, you look at some of these young players who people are asking to push a lot. You can tell him and Cheeto still need a lot of work in the men's game. A lot of work. I like what I see from him. He is a little bit of a regen of a Luke Shaw. But, like I said, it needs more work. In the midfield, I'm guessing it's going to be Bruno and Ugarte, but it might well be Mainu and Ugarte because they started the last Premier League game, I think it was. Again, another partnership that I'm not overly screaming from the hills about. I think Mainu going forward is an interesting one. I don't know where his position is going to be in this team, and I'll throw the same question to you lot who are watching this right now. Where does Mainu start next season? What's his best position? Because Amarin clearly doesn't seem to like him in midfield or trust him in midfield enough, especially in the big games. I think he was on the bench when we were against Athletic Club. Obviously, Casemiro's been in really good form, so it'd be hard to displace him. And then what you get from Ugarte off the ball as well in terms of putting fires out, that's why he plays him there. And that's probably the best blend defensively. So I actually think Mainu, where he is on that graphic, whether he'll be there or not, like I said, he might be in the midfield, but where he is on that graphic next to me there, I think that's his best position, and I think that's where he scores all his goals from. It's where he does his best work. So today's an opportunity for him as well, and I'll expand on that a little bit more. But let's just go to right wing back, which is the standout one, which I'm guessing it's going to be AMAD there. I prefer him there personally. You know, he can play wherever he wants, AMAD. He's that good. Play him at wing back, play him as a 9, play him wherever you want. As long as he's on the pitch, that's all I give a fuck about. But at wing back, I think that's where his best moments have come. And in this system, you want your best players on that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Lots of love. All right, let me have a swig of this because honestly, my throat. Oh, my God, I needed that. So. Sorry. All right. AMAD Diallo is back on the pitch. That's the main important thing. And that that kind of team I'm more confident with against the West Ham. I didn't want to see a weakened team again. I'm sick of losing Premier League games. If you look at our form going into this, honestly, let's have a look. All right, so we lost to Brentford 4-3. We drew to Bournemouth 1-1. We lost to Wolves 1-0. We lost to Newcastle 4-1. We drew to City 0-0. We lost to Nottingham Forest 1-0. And we beat Leicester. The last time we won in the Premier League was the 16th of March. That was nearly 2 months ago. So I didn't want to go into this game again. I know people are saying we've got the Europa League and don't risk players and da-da-da. It's like, what? You want to just keep getting spanked then in the Prem as well? Like, have a bit of fucking pride about yourself. You know what I mean? Let's finish slightly higher. Because then what happens if you finish 17th and then you don't win the Europa League? All that this season will go down as you finish one spot above the relegation. You was below West Ham, Tottenham after the shocking seasons they've had. So a bit of pride would be nice. And the fact you're playing at Old Trafford in front of home fans as well. Yeah, I'm glad there's at least a bit of quality in there. How it all works and clicks together, I'm not sure in terms of chemistry because there's a lot of partnerships in there that I'm like, not seen before. So, yeah, I'm sure that'll be something we'll talk about when we get to the tactics. James saying, it is a glorious day. Shame the weather would be more glorious than football. Spot on. The 2-10s have surprised me. Mason Mount, I'll talk about in a moment because I'm happy for him. Shaw isn't a wing-back anymore, though, Nick. Over the course of the season, I can't see it. No, I think it's weird. On the ball, I think he is. Off the ball, I don't think he's really got that nature to bomb up and down the wing now like a doggy would. I think you need someone really athletic in there. And Shaw, with the way his hamstrings have been, breadstick legs, yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Alex saying, mad to think we have 4 games left of the season and one's today. Yeah, we're nearly there. I mean, to be fair, I'm kind of glad it's over because it's been such a shit season on it. It's been absolutely dreadful. I mean, the Europa League aside, obviously, the Europa League's been incredible. And if we win that, you will save the season. But if you don't, like I said before, and you end up and you finish 15th with no trophy, a lot of work to be done. Hypothetically speaking, Nick, if we had a good summer, would it not be in Cobby's best interest to be more of a squad player for 18 months so his development isn't as pressured? We want Aya. But it's weird, though, because we wouldn't have been saying that last year, would we? You know what I mean? Under Ten Hag, he was starting almost every game. And we was all calling him a generational talent. He was starting in finals for England and semi-finals. So can you have a player who's that talented on the bench? I don't see it. I think it works well in the in one of those 10s, but he'll have to adapt and improve. I mean, look at someone like Paul Scholes, for example. His career started as like number 10, didn't it? Or I think he started as a striker actually, and then he went to like a 10, and then he went to like an 8, and then he went to like a 6. So you might well see the progression of Kobbie Mainoo in that sense. I don't think it is a really naturally suited position for him from what I've seen so far. Uh, I think he looked better in Ten Hag's system, or maybe he just played. Well, he played better in Ten Hag's system, but then again in Ten Hag's system, the midfield was so open. He was chasing shadows a lot of the time, and that's where games won and lost. So I don't know. I'm really, really eager to see how he develops in this system, but he's definitely talented enough. So fingers crossed, he is a part of our plans because he's a really good player and a really humble lad, and obviously from Manchester as well. If you let Marcus Rashford go out the door, he's your only Manchester-born player, innit? You know what I mean? So it's something about that. I know there'll be other academy players who's coming through, but I'm saying like first teamers right now. He's the only one. So yeah, I'd like to keep hold of him, but God knows what's going to happen this summer. I don't know if Garnacho's going to go. I don't know if Kobbie Mainoo's going to go. I'm not sure. Personally, I think the games haven't been as bad as the results, but if you can't score, you're doomed. That's it. That's the be-all and end-all of football. You can have an amazing goalkeeper. You can be great in possession. You can be a great counter-attacking team. You can have it all, but if you can't score, it means fuck all. It means nothing. You lose games and you end up at the bottom of the table like we are at the minute. We needed him last year, though. That's what I mean. If we got an Edison, would it be better for Kobbie only short-term to be taken out of the limelight a little bit? Would he want that, though? Or does he think, well, if I could go sign for another team and start for them? You know, so it all depends on the player as well. The fact that Mount's getting a start is fresh and rewarding to see. The one asterisk that will always be next to their names on that team sheet, Shaw and Mount, is can they stay fit? They managed to do it so far. Seems like Amarin and the coaches are managing their loads in terms of how many minutes they're getting. But I just hope, you think with that big important final coming up, someone like Mount could have a really big difference. And he got his moment in the last game, scored 2 goals, one from the halfway line and one like a Makeda goal. Like how it's very similar actually to the Kobbie Mainoo goal against Liverpool. Quality finish. And probably the best game he's had ever at United since he's joined. And, you know, he's not had many, has he? I don't know how many in total, but I'd probably guess between 20 and 30, maybe. For United, Mason Mount, I'm guessing. Let's have a look. And a lot of them won't be starts either. So, this season, 22 games, 685 minutes. So, on average, it's not going to be a lot. A lot of those will be substitute appearances and cameos. So, 22 this season. Last season, let's have a look. 20. So it's around 42 games, but then a lot of them will be 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But yeah, I thought that game the other day was quality, and that's what you need in those 10s. He is perfect for that system. Played in it for Chelsea, got double figures in both goals and assists. And I tell you what, if he could perform on the level that he did against Athletic Club on a regular basis, he's starting every single game. Mason Mount for me, because he's just a better fit. Not only that as well, is intent off the ball and how aggressive he is and the work that he puts in. He is a coach's dream. Coaches love players like Mason Mount. Are they the key pinnacle players who are going to win your games all the time? No. But every team needs a cog in it like Mason Mount. And a lot of coaches. Thomas Tuchel will tell you that. Gareth Southgate will tell you that. He is a top player, but he just needs to stay fit. And I reckon he'll probably get a goal or assist today as well. Them two behind Rasmus Højlund is interesting as well. No Garnacho for the first time in a hot minute. I can't remember the last Premier League game Garnacho didn't start. So the fact that he's getting rested is nice to see. I think it's needed. And then I think, obviously, behind Rasmus Højlund, maybe he'll have a bit more creativity. He'll have players looking for him. Mainoo and Mount are more moulded to that kind of sense. So, yeah, I'm fascinated to see how that dynamic works. I think Højlund will be fed a lot more chances than he would with Garnacho. However, Garnacho, in fairness to him, has been looking for players, has assisted Mount in Premier League games as well and others, and he's starting to actively look more for those cutbacks in it. So, yeah. Oh, hay fever today, lads, honestly. Please do smash a like on the video for us if you can. Whilst I'm blowing my nose. Ugh. How are we doing, Tim? Tim's in the chat. I'm not worried about Mainoo. I think he'll find his role eventually. A lot of people agreeing with that. Starting Mount is brave, but it's a good opportunity to get him back to kick on and build up form. Momentum, if you will. Ray and 8, big up yourselves, man. How are you doing? I fear he's gone too strong. Majori's the crazy one. Look at the minutes he's played already. I think Kobbie's versatility is why Amarin will keep him. Everybody's focused on the starting 11. It's as though nobody learned from the last few years. We need a squad to compete on multiple fronts. Have to be getting some changes at half-time regardless. Has anyone seen the Newcastle game as well, by the way? Just very quickly. I think Nicholas Jackson's been sent off. And obviously they're scrapping for Champions League football, aren't they? So Chelsea have gone down to 5th, which would still be Champions League as it stands at the minute. But you've got Forest, who've got a game in hand on them as well. If they win that, they'll go above him. But yeah, they're on they're 5th, played 36 on 63 points. So they've got 2 games left. Newcastle up to 3rd. It seems like they're going to get Champions League football. But I don't know who they've got left to play, Newcastle. Let's have a look. Everton and Arsenal away. That last game's tricky, innit? Arsenal at the Emirates on the last day. Everton, I think they'll win, but yeah, certainly heating up for those Champions League spots. How nice that'd be, right? My God. Champions League football. You might get it anyway through the Europa League through the back door, but it'd be nice to be fighting actually in the top echelon of it, you know what I mean? Now, we're seeing a lot of these graphics here, it's going to be Manu and Nagate alongside each other, which doesn't surprise me, but I just didn't know. It doesn't matter, does it? One will drop into midfield anyway, one will advance at times. There'll be a lot of rotation. For anyone who's asking about the subs bench, we've got Tom Heaton, Dorgu, Fredrickson, Lindelof, Maguire, Casemiro, Ericsson, Garnacho, and Chido. So I'd imagine Chido, Obe, Cass, or Maguire might get a run out. A lot of people talking about Mazraoui being in the team. They're surprised. Again, he'll be another one who'll get subbed. Maybe Fredrickson will come on. Maybe they'll try to establish a lead. And then they'll go with that. I've also got West Ham's team as well, which I'll go through. They've got Areola in net, not the nipple, or the thing around the nipple, an actual goalkeeper. Kufal, Tadibo, Kilman, Cresswell, Wan-Bissaka, Rodriguez, Ward-Prowse, Souček, Bowen, and Kudus is what they're going with. So I mentioned this on the preview when we did it, if anyone watched that, about Graham Potter now kind of adapting to a back 5, which has taken their goals down from like 1.5 per goal to 0.9. So they are effectively harder to beat, but their form, I mean, at the minute is shocking. So if we get chances today, you'll have to take them. Simple as that. With players coming into the team that we've got there with AMAD and Manu and Matt and these kind of players, I think we will score goals. But they are harder to beat. Wan-Bissaka, we know all about, of course. That's going to be fascinating. Who will he be coming up against? So you've got Kufal. I need to have a look at this West Ham thing, because I need to know the positions where they're playing. Because Kufal's usually a right back, but if Wan-Bissaka's in the team, then I'm like, is he playing right-sided centre-half, or... Let's have a look. So, Wan-Bissaka's playing as a left wing-back. Jesus Christ. So they've got Areola, Tadibo, Kilman, Cresswell, Kufal, Rodriguez, Ward-Prowse, Souček, Wan-Bissaka, and then Bowen and Kudus as like the striker partnership. That is a really weird team, that. Really, really. And they not got a left wing-back. And they got that Emerson. Is he on the bench or something? Paqueta on the bench. Edson Alvarez on the bench. Evan Ferguson on the bench. Carlos Soler. Yeah, it's a mad team, that, from West Ham. Didn't expect that at all. So, Wan-Bissaka against AMAD. Fascinating battle. And you got Mount on that right-hand side as well. That's going to be the key area, I think. There's going to be so much focus on that. Imagine if Wan-Bissaka locks AMAD down. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Would not surprise me at all. Maybe Potter's put him there specifically for that. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, Tadibo is another one as well that they've got in the side. Obviously, we was linked with, and I also spoken about him. And when I did the preview for that, I mean, someone we couldn't sign because of that multi-club ownership bollocks, whatever it was. He's looked good for them on the ball. You know, he can defend those wide areas really, really well. It'd be someone, for example, like if Mazraoui, everyone's saying that he's played too many minutes, he would come in today and he'd do a decent job. From what I've seen from West Ham, he's been pretty good. So obviously he's one to watch. And then the front two, simple as that. you've got Bowen and Kudus who can just produce pieces of magic out of anything. And then Souček as well off set pieces is dangerous. Aerially is really, really good. Which is why I'm surprised. I thought he might start Maguire. Because West Ham are quite a big team. And I thought Maguire would start, but obviously he thinks he needs a rest. So Yoro's in there. He can equally hold his own in the air. But yeah, I think they might target set pieces and things like that today. Which you wouldn't blame him for at all, especially off corners as well. Our record is one of the worst in the league off set pieces, and when you have a player like James Ward-Prowse, he can put it on a what's the saying, a 2-piece 10 pence? I don't know what it is, but he can do that. He's quality at set pieces, so that is what they're going to look to do: either counter transitional attempts with Kudus and Bowen, or hitters from a set piece, a deep free kick, that kind of stuff, I'm guessing. But yeah, they're not... Listen, West Ham are not great at all. The fucking 2 wins in the last 10 games. One of them came against Leicester, and everyone beats Leicester. And the other one was just before that, like in February, where they beat Arsenal with 10 men. So they're not won in ages. So if they come to United now and they beat us, and they go above us in the league, you really are bottom of the barrel kind of thing there, because we are 15th on 39 points. West Ham are on 37 in 17th, and they can leapfrog us, and they could go on 40 points, and then we would drop down, depending, I don't know what happened in the Tottenham game, but they're playing Crystal Palace, aren't they? So they'll probably lose that game. But then it's just literally that battle there. It's just shocking, that, isn't it? Everton, Wolves, United, Tottenham, West Ham, 42 points, 37 points. Just miserable, innit? Just miserable. I don't mean any disrespect to any of the teams around us, but it's just shit, innit? Proper shit. I think it's interesting to see where both teams finish next season. West Ham. Will Graham Potter take them to like a Brighton level, to back in the top half and get them playing again? I don't necessarily think Graham Potter is like a West Ham kind of manager. I thought David Moyes was, and I always thought it was a weird situation that they got rid of him. And maybe they're trying to change that brand identity. When I think about West Ham, I just think tough as nails, tough to face, very physical team, in your face, long balls, like that. That's what I imagine with West Ham. Graham Potter for me just doesn't, I don't know. You don't feel like a right kind of fit. Like a Rafa Benitez back in the day, or a Mourinho, or like a pragmatic kind of manager suits them a little bit more. But like I said, maybe they are trying to change that narrative. Maybe they are trying to bring a more football and coaching and the pretty stuff. And I don't know. It's obviously not worked out for him in a minute, but like Amarin, he came in halfway through the season, didn't he? So you have to wait for a summer with Potter, spend some money, and then see where they're at. I'm not sure. Did Potter coach Mohamed Kudus at Brighton when he was there? Kudus was at Brighton, right? Ajax, Brighton, then West Ham. Or am I wrong for saying that? I don't know. I feel like he was. So yeah, the thing is, they're the only two I would look at if I'm gonna take some players for United from West Ham. They're the two. Kudus we was actually linked with, weren't we, under Ten Hag, because I'm being another Ajax player. And when we signed Anthony, everyone was like, when Kudus had a decent season last year, everyone was like, oh, we should have signed him. And I look at him, even he's been inconsistent. Like, he's a very talented player, and he'll probably end up doing something today because it's just a typical curse. But he is very inconsistent. He doesn't always deliver for West Ham, and West Ham fans will tell you that as well if you watch him enough. My God, throat killing, nose killing. Let's go to the comments. Good, mate. Hope you're powering through the hay fever. I'm trying my best. I'm on strong antihistamines as well, but I don't know what it is. Something in the air tonight, and it's fucking pollen. Would you have given Heaton a start? I mean, you can't do much worse at this point, can you? Literally, you cannot do much worse at this point. It's 2:15 kickoff. Is it? Is it actually? Oh, it is as well. Ooh. A 2:15 kickoff. What the fuck is that about? Is there something on or something? Is that why they're doing it? That's really weird. Yeah. You got United and West Ham, Forest and Leicester, Tottenham and Palace all playing at 1:15. That is fucking bizarre. That's really, really weird. I didn't even clock that. I genuinely, let's say I was doing a watch along today, that would have just been like, whoa, like, would have surprised me. Very strange. If you are just joining, this is the lineup on your right-hand side. We have Bayern Deer in net, Mazraoui, Yoro, and Luke Shaw as your back three. AMAD, Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, Ugarte, and Amas, Mount, Hoyland, and Mainu as your front three. Let us know your thoughts if you are just joining us. Tim saying must be because of the Castle game. Yeah, what time did that kick off? That must have, because I didn't realise that was ongoing until I started the stream. I was like, what? It's like 12:15 or something weird. Strange. I feel like we always play on a Sunday as well, and I know it's because of the Europa League, innit? Why we always play on a Sunday, but I can't. When was the last time we played on a Saturday? I can't actually remember it. Let's have a look. Thursday, Sunday. It's been a hot minute. Anyway. Newcastle game started at 12 as well. What the fuck is going on today? Glad we're in Europa, but a televised Saturday game wouldn't go and miss. Spot on. 12 on the dot. Who's scheduled this weekend? Yeah, weird. Just trying to cram games in left, right, centre, innit? Every year there's more and more games, and it's like less and less rest for the players, and yeah, just fucking cramming it in, basically. Right, let me tell you some stats then, if you're still with us. Manchester United are unbeaten in their last 16 Premier League home games against West Ham. Won 13, drew 3, winning each of their last 4 without conceding. Remember, that's home games. Specify that. West Ham have won 3 of their last 4 Premier League games against United, as many as in their previous 28 beforehand. They're looking to complete the first league double over the Red Devils. Did he beat us this year as well? Mate, I've just forgot the season completely. When did he beat us? At the London Stadium? I'm trying to find the game. Can anyone else remember that? 2-1 they beat us. Casemiro scored for us, but Somerville and Jared Bowen. I can't remember that game at all. 27th of October, so it would have been under Ten Hag. Yeah, I don't remember that game. So they've already beaten us this season, which is great, fantastic. United are without a win in their last 6 Premier League games. Only between September and November have they enjoyed a longer winless run in the competition's history. Ugh. Only Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton have picked up fewer Premier League points than West Ham since Graham Potter's first game in charge. In January, the Hammers are winless in the last 8 games, drew 4, lost 4, last enjoying a longer run in competition since 2011. Basically, both teams are dog shit. That's the best way to look at it. Both teams are absolutely crap. I did mention on the preview as well, I called it about Paqueta. Paqueta in the last game was visibly upset, and it looked like pressure was getting to him with this whole kind of gambling situation and whatever's happened with it. It's still ongoing. So, yeah, and it seems like he's going to get charged with it by the FA or something. And it's going back and forth. And his wife's been going on social media to Instagram and stuff. And it's all a bit of a mess. So the fact he's not starting today, I'm not as surprised, to be fair. But not only just him as well. I mean, Graham Potter, the manager's been having a bit of an emotional time in press conferences as well. He's been lashing out at players. And, yeah, just a bit of a weird time for them at the moment. Let me just put that on there. Yeah, Graham Potter, who usually you look at and you think he's got an angry bone in his body, but he's been furious recently. You know what? I might have to go soon. I'm struggling with my throat, and then you have to talk in front of a camera. Do you know what I mean? And it's just struggling. Always feels like anyone will know what I'm on about here. Do you know, like when you're just about to get a cold and it goes like really, really clammy and like sore? Oh, like I got fucking sandpaper in my throat. Right, let's do some predictions then for this game today. It would have been different, to be fair, had it been a weaker side. Like, let's say, for example, we would have started with a Fredrickson, I don't know, maybe a Collier in midfield and Cheeto up top and a few other changes like that. I probably would have gone with a draw. But having seen that team now, I think you should be beating West Ham with that side. But then again, I said the same in the last game. And Athletic Club fucking played us off the park for 70 minutes. So God knows what you're going to get. But if you've got Mount, AMAD, Bruno, Mainu, Ugarte, Yoro, Shaw in a team, you should be winning that game against West Ham at Old Trafford, who haven't won in the last 8 games. If you don't win today, I mean, it's just embarrassing. It really, really is embarrassing. So I'm going to be confident and say 2-0 win to Man United. Maybe 2-1, and I'll give West Ham a goal because we will concede one. I think 2-0 United. I think... I don't know if it'd be a bit of a feisty game. I'm not sure what to expect there. With the weather being nice, both teams near the bottom. Can we see it being scrappy? Really? I don't know. I'll go United 2-1. I'll go Mason Mount to score or assist. And I will go Kufal yellow card. Or Wan-Bissaka yellow card. One of those two. What you're saying about the tickets for staff for the final, Nick? Yeah, I saw that. The fact that Tottenham, they're paying for all their staff tickets, aren't they? Or prepaid or something. And United aren't doing it. To be honest with you, I don't like it. It's not really United style to be doing that. You're talking in the past decade. The one thing I will say about it is I wouldn't moan at Jim for it because Jim's making these decisions because of the way the Glazers have treated the club for the past 10 years. So if the Glazers, I would imagine, had the Glazers not left it rotting for years and years like they have been doing, maybe these kind of decisions they would be more open to. Like if we was more competitive near the top, if our finances were in straight good deed, then you can do stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know that I'm not in the boardroom looking at the finances. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure. It's not great though. It's not a great look at all. And I think the staff that work there, I know some people who work there. I have family who work there, in like the social media side. So it's not great. It's not great at all. It has to be said. Are all those 16 home games under Amorim? I don't know. That start can't be right. Just lost to Wolves at home. Let me get it up. Right, we'll go through them together. What was the stat I just mentioned? Let me read it back out. Unbeaten in their last 16 Premier League home games against West Ham. I said against West Ham. Just to clarify, not actually unbeaten in them games. Glad we're in the Europa, but I'll tell it. Oh, sorry, I already read that out. Go rest up, brother. Sorted it. Good show, man. 2-0. I know, sorry. Usually it's energy. Usually I'm like loads of million stats and throwing them at you. And I'm just, yeah. Sometimes you've got to be honest in it and transparent and just be like, I'm not a racist today. And also I was drinking yesterday as well. So it's like a mixture of like a hangover and bad hay fever and all that kind of shit. 2-0. Mount, goal and assist. AMAD, goal and assist. Or assist, sorry. Majrari subbed at half-time. Hopefully, for the love of God. I don't know if you can actually bet on someone being subbed. But I take your point. All right, listen. Like I say, usually I stay on for a bit and I'll just before kick-off kind of head off. But I'm struggling. And I'm not even eating today either. So I'll be honest. I just want to go eat some food and watch some football and chill on a Sunday. But I appreciate every single one of you every time you join me, man. Because you could be watching the punditry build-up. You could be watching a different channel. You could be doing... Do you know what I'm saying? So I really, really appreciate it. As always... Hopefully, we'll be much more live and action-packed after the game and discussing it. I think there's a couple of us on the post-match show, and they could take the energy. I could just host, and they could take the energy away and discuss it in depth and bring you guys into the conversation as well. So, yeah, appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Hopefully, United get the job done, and we'll see you on the live stream after it, yeah?